All right, everybody, what is up? We're going to start doing this once a week at least, trying to get some consistency in here. The Reds are off today. We're going to talk some Cincinnati Reds baseball. It's been rough times. It's been rough. It's been rough. There's no other way to put it. The Reds have lost, I think, 100 out of 102 games. We don't get nice things around here. We don't get anything nice. The Reds are just losing. They're losing. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It sucks. It really sucks. But we're here to talk about it. We're all diehard fans. If you're watching this, you're a diehard fan. You're hoping the season's not over. If it is, I don't know what to tell you. It sucks. It sucks. It just plain sucks. But let's get into it. So right now, the Reds were sitting at 14 and 10. The Reds were 14 and 10. Now I mean, what even are they? I have to look it up because it's been so bad. It's like 19 and 28, I believe. Is 19 and 28 right? They sure are. 14 and 10, and they go to 19 and 28. I mean, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's winning 5 out of 23 games. That's hard to watch. And it's one thing when you watch a team and they're putting competitive games together. It's one thing, if they're losing by heartbreak fashion over and over again, which they've had some heartbreak losses. They've had some heartbreak losses, a lot of one-run games. But it's like yesterday was a one-run game against the Dodgers, 2-2. And you're just sitting there watching, and you have no faith that they're going to win. You're like, how are they going to score? We have the fastest man on the planet, Elly De La Cruz, on third base. The fastest man on the planet. Second base. Sorry, second base. No outs. This offense is so bad right now. We couldn't even get him to third. Now, I know there's people all over Twitter, the old X app. You got to love the X app. There's people all over there that say, hey, Elly should have stole third. Maybe he should have, but I'll say this. A lot of the same people that are saying Elly should have stole third, if he went to steal third with no outs and got thrown out at third base, those people would have been saying, what is Elly doing? You can't get thrown out at third in that situation. You can't have it both ways. If Elly's aggressive, he's going to be aggressive. He's going to be aggressive. You can't say it's only good when it works. You can't play the results. But anyway, we had the fastest man on the planet. The fastest man on the planet. That guy could run against a cheetah. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. He's the fastest man on the planet. We couldn't even move him 90 feet from second base to third base. Just a catastrophe. But that's what I'm saying. That's where this offense is. We're just struggling so badly to get runners over. The Reds are struggling so badly to get runners in. They can't come up with a big hit. It is a frustrating team to watch right now. And there's not much more to say. There's just not much more to say. It's just really frustrating. So with that, let's dig into the offense a little bit. Let's see why they're struggling so bad. So I think it's pretty simple, right? I think it's pretty simple. It's people aren't going to want to hear this. I know it's not cool to say injuries and suspensions are the reason you're struggling. It's not fun to say that. You should have depth. Well, I think this team had decent depth, but it hasn't worked out. This isn't the Dodgers. You don't have unlimited payroll. You have to kind of make it work. So let's look at it. All right. So let's talk about first. Let's talk about Matt McLain. And sorry, I'm looking over. I have my screen with some stats over here. Matt McLain slash 290, 357, 507 last year. He had a WRC plus of 128. That's weighted runs created plus. For those of you that might not know what that is, 100 is average. So if you're at 128, you're 28 above average. Anything below 100, you're below average. He had a 128 as a rookie. He added 14 stolen bases. Matt McLain was arguably one of the best players on the team last year. Now, in spring training, I was actually at this game, or I was actually out there in spring training when McLain got injured. He gets hurt trying to make a diving catch. And what happens? The Reds say, no big deal. No big deal. Matt McLain's going to be fine. It's just precautionary. A couple days go by. Matt McLain is no longer fine. Matt McLain needs surgery. Matt McLain, will see you in August, maybe September. All right, no big deal. No big deal. Well, there goes one of your best hitters in the lineup. Matt McLain, just like that, gone. All right, let's go before that. We'll go Noelvi Marte. Noelvi Marte came up and played in 35 games for the Reds last year. He hit 316 with an OPS of 822, WRC plus of 120 as a rookie. He's the Reds' #1 prospect. Noelvi Marte has been suspended for steroids. I mean, you just can't make it up, folks. Everybody tests for steroids these days. What are we doing? Why are we taking steroids, Noelvi? Love the guy. Love the guy. I think a world of Noelvi Marte. I think he's going to be a great baseball player. There's no excuse. You can't just take steroids. You're going to get caught. And he got caught. 80 games. See you later. Here we are, 19-28. It's brutal. We got about 32 more, 30, I can't do math, 47, 33 more games till Noelvi Marte's back. And then guess what? If the Reds get hot and they make a run, guess who can't play in the playoffs? Noelvi Marte. It's brutal. It continues. Let's go to TJ Friedl. And I misspoke earlier. I wasn't at the game Matt McLain got hurt in spring training. I was at the game TJ Friedl got hurt in spring training. He dove for a ball in center field. And everyone says, why is he diving in spring training? Listen, it's easy to say that. It's easy to say, why is he diving in spring training? But these guys are athletes. They want to, that's what they do. I play basketball Monday nights. I probably shouldn't go hard, but I get out there and I get competitive and I go hard. That's just what people do. So TJ Friedl fractures his wrist. He's going to be out a couple months. Great. Terrible news for the offense. The Reds' leadoff guy, the guy that just finds a way, the guy who's always in the lineup, lefties and righties. TJ Friedl, out. But then he comes back. We all have hope. TJ Friedl is back. Guess what happens to TJ Friedl? Not even a week later, gets hit in the thumb. Hold on here. Can we talk about, I'm tired of Reds players getting mashed on inside pitches. They're getting just drilled constantly on the hand, constantly on the elbow. It happened to Jeimer Candelario yesterday, got hit in the elbow. Can we stop with this nonsense? I'm tired of pitchers throwing inside and hitting the Reds players. CES is on the IL because of it. TJ Friedl's on the IL because of it. Ty Steve got lucky to not go on the IL because of it. Luke Maley got hit in the hand. It's ridiculous. Can we stop throwing at Reds batters inside? Just stop it. Anyway, I digress. TJ Friedl, he gets hurt again. We didn't even have him back for a full week. More misery. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We have Christian Encarnacion-Strand, who you know as CES. CS 270, 328, 477 last year. The rookie had a WRC plus of 112. He was going to be the guy who hit 30 plus home runs. He's going to mash in that little sandbox that is GABP. He was going to be the middle of the order bat for your Cincinnati Reds. However, this year he comes out and slashes 190, 220, 293 with a WRC plus of 38. Now remember, folks, 100 is average. His WRC plus was 38. That's one of the worst in Major League Baseball. Now I'm going to say, they said he had a fracture in his wrist that was sort of lingering. It sounded like it was there before he got hit in the wrist, and then the wrist kind of screwed everything up and it fractured again. I'm not really sure what happened. It's the Reds training staff gives some weird updates sometimes. I'm praying that the injury is what caused some of those bad numbers. I'm praying that was the case, because that can't be CS. We can't have that guy have a 38 WRC plus. But with that being said, all those guys I just talked about, all of them that I just talked about, in 2023, They contributed to 127 extra base hits. They contributed 51 stolen bases. When you lose that kind of production from your lineup, that's half the lineup you're losing. It's hard to be successful. It's hard to be successful. We're not the Dodgers where we just have guys ready to go all over the place. We're the Cincinnati Reds. And then you combine that with Will Benson really struggling. He's doing good against righties. I know people don't want to admit it. He still is above average against righties. Jake Fraley below average. He's been okay. Spencer Steer off to a hot start in May. His WRC plus is 55. Elly De La Cruz off to a hot start. He's 22. He's just asking to take on too big of a load right now for this team. His WRC plus in May is 73. Jeimer Candelario just hasn't been good enough. I think he has a WRC plus around 86. Jonathan India, we thought it was going to be a bounce back year. He was supposed to play platoon. He's been plugged right back into second base. WRC plus of 81. You combine all the injuries and combine the rest of the guys not really overachieving, not even being average for the most part. It's a bad combination. Tyler Stevenson is the only guy right now knocking the cover off the ball. And David Bell benches him every third day. I don't even want to get started there. It's crazy. I support David Bell more than a lot of people. We got to find a way to get Tyler Stevenson in the lineup. It's ridiculous to have him sit every third day. I don't care if you lose the DH because someone gets hurt. Put Tyler Stevenson in the dang lineup. But that's it about the offense. I know it's not fun to say it's that simple and blame it on injuries and suspensions and then pair that with the guys that they do currently have not being good, but I think it's that simple. And then the people that want to say, well, you should have depth. Well, they did have some depth. Nick Martini had a 900 OPS last fall. And Nick Martini this spring has been terrible. So in their mind, that's some depth. He played well last year, played well enough to be a platoon player and play against righties. Well, this year, I don't know what happened, but he isn't good enough to play righties. He's back down to AAA. So I know it's easy to look in hindsight and say the Reds should have been prepared for this, but they were banking on a lot of guys to be at least decent, at least average. Even if they regressed a little bit, they'd be average. Not this team. Not so far. All right, enough of the offense. We're going to move on to David Bell. Maybe eventually I'll get some graphics up here or something so you don't have to just stare at me all day, but I'm new to this, so bear with me. Leave some comments. Give me some questions for next week. Let's talk David Bell. I know teams want to talk about David Bell. Our fans want to talk about David Bell and blame it all on David Bell. I stick up for David Bell a lot. I really do. So you can bash me in the comments, bash me on the X app. I just don't think managers play that big of a role in baseball. The thing I have a hard time with is when things go wrong, it's always David Bell's fault. But look at the pitching this year. The pitching's been phenomenal. Does David Bell get any credit for that? Same with the pitching coach, Johnson. He gets all sorts of flack when the pitching's good bad. The pitching's been great this year. Not one person has given any credit to Derek Johnson. That's just how it is. I get it. That's part of being a coach. I don't know if it's David Bell's fault. I am tired of the Tyler Stevenson stuff. You've got to find a way on a terrible offense to get your second best hitter in the game, in the lineup. He can DH. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. If someone gets hurt and some random guy if Santiago Espinal has to catch because they lose the DH and someone has to catch, I don't care. That's one game. You can't play scared. Get Tyler Stevenson in the lineup. He's one of your best hitters right now. But that's all I got for David. I don't really have a strong opinion. I know a lot of you do. I don't. Let's move on. This is the last topic for today. Last topic for the day. It's been short and sweet. Short and sweet. We're going to try to do these at least weekly. Hopefully you tune in. Hopefully I'm at least somewhat entertaining. Maybe I'm an idiot. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about the pitching. Let's end on some positivity, I should say. The starting pitching has been fantastic. Before yesterday, I got this from our friend Reds in 4 on the X app. Hunter Green, 9 games started, 3.27 ERA. And that only got better yesterday because he pitched a gem. Andrew Abbott, 9 games started, 3.06 ERA. Frankie Montas, 8 games started, 4.37 ERA. Graham Ashcraft, 9 games started, 4.25 ERA. Nick Lodolo, 6 games started, 3.34 ERA. And Nick Martinez, 4 games started, 4.23 ERA. That's 6 starters, all under a 4.5 ERA. 3 of them all below 3.35. That's some of the best in baseball. The Reds have never had pitching like this. Maybe the Johnny Cueto, Matt Latos, those days. But this is unbelievable. And we're still finding ways to lose because the offense is terrible. I think that's the part that's so frustrating. The offense has been so bad that the pitching, they can't do anything. We score 2 runs every game. There's been 12 games this year where the Reds have scored 1 run or less. 12 games, 1 run or less. You don't win games like that. The Reds are 1-10, I think, maybe 1-11 in 1-run games. It's brutal. But hey, the pitching is pitching well. If the Reds can just hang on till some of these guys get back, they might be okay. But I'm beginning to worry, and I'm a very positive guy when it comes to the Reds, and I stick up for this franchise. But I'm beginning to worry that they're not going to hang on. They went from 14-10 to 19-28. We have 3 more games against the Dodgers coming up. We have 3 against the Padres. They haven't been great, but they have a lot of talent. I'm worried. Here's some more pitching stats for you. We'll end it on this. First in expected batting average against. Awesome. Tied for second in expected slugging against. 5th lowest average exit velocity against. 4th lowest hard hit percentage against. And 9th in strikeout percentage. The Reds pitching is what we complain about every year. Every single year we complain about the Reds pitching. Not this year. It's been pretty awesome. If anyone has any tips, tricks, if you need to go down to GABP and do some magic tricks to get the offense to come alive, please do it. I'm tired of watching the Reds score 2 runs, 1 run, 0 runs. You're tired of it. I'm tired of it. We're all tired of it. We need the Reds offense to come alive. I don't know what it takes. People still have to start playing better than their ability, or even to their ability. Something has to happen. It can't keep going on like this. It just can't. Anyway, that's it for today. Ask some questions in the comments section. I'll try to answer them next time around. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Go Reds. Beat the Padres. We'll see you next week.